Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name is Amy, and I am an ordained minister. We are in Bible study. We are in the book of Genesis, and in chapter 18. We're in the Niv. We will be in the Niv for all of 2025, and in 2026, we will start the KJV. On the Facebook page, you can find the KJV Proverbs. They were completed in 2024. We are doing the Proverbs for Niv at this time, the New International Version. Where the intention is to read as many versions of the Bible, as we can. So, just the pace requires me that it takes me 2 years to record, to go through the pace from what I can handle. There will be videos that do comparison language between those proverbs, because as we explore the different versions of the Bible, we're going to start to explore how they change the language. And as we add new versions, we will add on to that, those presentations as they go. So we'll revisit when we have new versions. So now, in this video, chapter 18, we are doing verses, the entire chapter, so verses 1 through 33. So, 3 visitors. Genesis, chapter 18, version 1. The Lord appeared to Abraham near the great tree of Mamre, M-A-M-R-E, or Mamre, while he was sitting at the entrance of his tent in the heat of the day. Yeah, he stayed under cover. Abraham looked up and saw 3 men standing nearby. When he saw them, he hurried from the entrance of his tent to meet them and bowed low to the ground. Okay? He said, "If you have found favor in your eyes, my Lord," if I have found favor in your eyes, my Lord, or O Lord, "do not pass your servant by. Let a little water be brought, and then you may wash your feet and rest under this tree. Let me get you something to eat, so you can be refreshed and then go on your way. Now that you have come to your servant." "Very well," they answered. "Do as you say." So he's being hospitable. So that's nice. Because remember, they're out in the middle of nowhere. So you'd have to imagine that people trekking through, wandering through, they really are trying to go from one water source to another water source. That is the way one has to trek through, the environment that we're going through right here. Sorry, there was a bug floating around. Very well, they answered, "Do as you say." Verse 6. So Abraham hurried into the tent to Sarah. "Quick," they said, "get 3 seahs, S-E-A-H-S. It's got a footnote of F, or 20 quarts or 22 liters of fine flour, and knead it and make some bread." Then he ran to the herd and selected a choice tender calf and gave it to a servant who hurried and prepared it. Then he brought some curds and milk and the calf that had been prepared and set these before them. While they ate, he stood near them under the tree. "Where is your wife Sarah?" they asked him. "There, in the tent," he said. Then the Lord, Hebrew for then he, said, "I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah, your wife, will have a son." Now Sarah was listening at the entrance to the tent, which was behind him. Abraham and Sarah were already old and well advanced in years, and Sarah was past the age of childbearing. So Sarah laughed to herself as she thought, "After I am worn out, and my master, or husband, is old, now I will have this pleasure?" What? That's not even possible. I know that feeling. Look at all that. I went and changed and pulled it. Hold on. All right. Sorry about that. it's like an annoyance when I can see it and it's floating around like that. It makes me crazy. So Sarah was laughing, and she says, now I will have this pleasure. So if you get pregnant, I mean, absolutely, if somebody gets pregnant at 99 years old, that's God. I mean, what else could it be? I mean, these people were living longer, but still, 99 years old, it's 99 years old. Then the Lord, verse 13, then the Lord said to Abraham, why did Sarah laugh and say, will I really have a child now that I am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? I will return to you at the appointed time next year, and Sarah will have a son. Sarah was afraid, so she lied and said, I did not laugh. But he said, yes, you did laugh. So it's like, okay. Well, I mean, because they think it's ridiculous. That's why she laughed. He doesn't know. Like this is a Lord, the Lord. It's a person to them, so they don't know. They don't know it's, that he might send people down there. And, he was offered hospitality. The people, the servants did as asked. Abraham, circumcised everybody, and, that was all in chapter 17. So, yeah, he did everything that was asked, even if he thought it was ridiculous. He was like, all right, Lord, I'll go all in. Abraham pleads for Sodom. Verse 16. When the men got up to leave, they looked down towards Sodom, and Abraham walked along with them to see them on their way. These are angels. Then the Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham what I'm about to do? Abraham will surely become a great and powerful nation, and all the nations of the earth will be blessed through him. For I have chosen him so that he will direct his children and his household after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing what is right and just. See, that's the deal. So that the Lord will bring about for Abraham what he has promised him. Okay. Then the Lord said, the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is so great, and their sin so grievous, that I will go down and see if what they have done is as bad as the outcry that has reached me. If not, I will know. The men turned away and went towards Sodom, but Abraham remained standing before the Lord. There's Masoretic text, so that's, Moses. Masoretic text, an ancient Hebrew scribal tradition, but the Lord remained standing before Abraham. Okay. Then Abraham approached him and said, will you sweep away the righteous with the wicked? What if there are 50 righteous people in the city? Will you sweep it away and not spare or forgive the place for the sake of 50 righteous people in it? Verse 25, far be it from you to do such a thing, to kill the righteous with the wicked, treating the righteous and wicked alike. Far be it from you. Will not the judge, or ruler of all the earth do right? The Lord said, if I find 50 righteous people in the city of Sodom, I will spare the whole place for their sake. Okay? This is, of course, this is a time frame in which the most populated cities had maybe 120,000 people in it, which is a lot in comparison for some small town. But if you're living in a city where there's 500,000 people living here, that's a town to you, not a city. And that was a city to them. So 50 people could be a lot for their size town. Just depends how many people were there. Right? The ratio has to be there. Then Abraham spoke again. Know that I have been bold as to speak to the Lord, though I am nothing but dust and ashes. What if the number of the righteous is 5 less than 50. Will you destroy the whole the city because of 5 people? If I find 45 people there, I will not destroy it. Once again, he spoke to him. What if only 40 are found there? He said, for the sake of 40, I will not do it. And then he said, my Lord, be not angry, but let me speak. What if only 30 can be found there? He answered, I will not do it if I find 30 there. Abraham said, now that I have been so bold as to speak to the Lord, what if only 20 can be found there? He said, for the sake of 20, I will not find it. Then he said, may the Lord not be angry, but let me speak just once more. What if only 10 can be found there? Like he's trying to find out what the number is. All right? He answered, for the sake of 10, I will not destroy it. When the Lord had finished speaking with Abraham, he left, and Abraham returned home. So that tells you the nature of Abraham. People appeared. He didn't really necessarily know who they were. That's why Sarah was laughing in the first place. He he prepared food for them. He showed the spirit of hospitality. So that's a type of love for complete strangers. And then he pleads for the lives of people in a town that's known for its very, very disgusting behaviors. So, could be why he was chosen in the first place.